𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐭は俺が殺したんだ。何かの間違いさ。
Kowloon generic romance episode number 4, and here's my real thing. I review a lot of anime. I'm just gonna put that out there. Even if you're new to this specific channel, this is my second channel here. On my other channel, I've been reviewing anime for a lot of years, right? This is my experimental channel, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter, okay? But here's the deal, is like when I watch anime, I like to keep my reviews very, very real, and I only do them based on episode, but I like to then mention the anime as a whole. And this episode I thought was a good episode. This episode, it confirmed a few different things. Like, it confirmed that two versions of a person cannot exist in the same place. It confirmed that there is a real version and a non-real version. It confirmed that the thing in the sky may be generating people or something of that nature. It confirmed that Kujirai isn't necessarily a clone. It confirmed that she doesn't want to know about her past because she feels like the moment, just like before, that she learns about it, like there's some kind of programming within her that really screws her up, and she may in fact disappear. She's realizing it. It confirmed that legitimately she is in love with Kudo. And it also confirmed that she kind of does want to take over, or not take over, but be honorable or honor the past life of the last Kujirai. And it confirmed at the end that Kudo may have killed Kujirai, unknown reasons why. Okay, so this episode did a lot. It also confirmed, how many times, take a drink every time I say confirmed. It also confirmed that the purple hair guy and Gwen, what's the weird doctor, what's the quack doctor's name? Hold on, I'll tell you guys in two shakes of a lamb's tail here. I'll tell you here. The doctor's name is Miyuki. So it confirmed that Miyuki and Gwen are a couple, but that wasn't always the case. Gwen may have actually been with Kujirai at some point as well too. When I say Kujirai, I mean Kujirai B, not the current version of Gwen. This episode also did go over when Hajime and Kujirai, began their fling, began their thing, which I thought was cool too. So overall, I think this was a good episode. Don't let anything I'm going to say kind of take away from that. I think it was a good episode. But the beginning, I was like, let me tell you, it's like, when I was talking like, oh, I watch a lot of anime and stuff. I think that there is such thing as doing too much. And I understand that Kowloon leans heavily into mystery, right? It's a mystery anime. There is a such thing though as too much mystery. And we're only 4 episodes in. So legitimately, that's the thing that that's the thing that bothers me a bit. It's like, okay, so they're not clones. There's a different Kowloon. Originally, the original Kowloon was destroyed. The current version of Kowloon was created after that. But it may not actually be a real version of Kowloon, but it might be a real version of Kowloon, but something generated it, and something's also able to control it, because just like Gwen's apartment, at least the alternate version of Gwen, basically just disappeared off the map. It was #Control-Alt-Deleted. And Kudo couldn't quite find the reasons why. And it's because whatever can manipulate things is just able to manipulate them. This is proven even further, as now we can kind of guess why the other version of Gwen disappeared. It wasn't because he quit or moved out or got fired or died. It's because the real version of Gwen came into this Kowloon, and 2 versions of the same person can't exist in the same space. So there's a real one, and then there's the fake one. Hard to know exactly what the fake one means, but only one version of the said person can exist at one time. Even further confirmed, when Gwen is going around Kowloon, he's like, this version of Kowloon is even dated more than when I was originally here. It makes no sense whatsoever that things feel like they have moved backwards instead of forward. Even further proven by the fact that he talks about the doctor and the doctor's product, and he was like, okay, he's talking to Miyuki, and he's talking about like, oh, these are the things you created 3 years ago, but they're being sold now as new. Make that make sense. It doesn't make sense. Even further proven later on, where he has the old guy in his office, and then he invites the real old guy, and the moment that he crosses the Kowloon border or whatever, the other fake version just disappears. Who knows what happens, but he's just gone. Okay, so then that's a whole mystery. So they're not clones, but they might be digital versions, but this place is tangible and real, but maybe it's not. Super confusing. So, you know, you have that mystery. But again, you still have like the, okay, well, what happened to the real Kujirai? What happened to this? And then you have Kudo. So Kudo in this version may also not be real or could be real. But now he's talking about the fact of he's longing and loving and Kujirai and Lala. But then at some point, he flips the script and he's like, oh, well, I killed her. And you're like, what the heck? You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, that's a big confession. So you killed her, but why? And then he talks about, what do you know? So obviously the thing in the sky, giving everybody hope. He definitely has a vendetta. But is he the real Kudo? Is the other Kudo somewhere else? Is he just a manifestation? Does he know more than he's laying on? Again, it just keeps creating more and more mystery, but doesn't actually super confirm anything. It just wants to kind of give you little carrots, and it just wants to continue to lead us by the carrot. And eventually, like, you know, stuff like that, when it becomes too frequent and too often and too much, it ends up hurting the show, because I start to lose interest if we don't actually start getting tangible answers. And I wouldn't really crave it 4 episodes in on a standard anime, but when it kind of keeps pushing these agenda, you know, fast as lightning out the gate, it makes you want to have the answers. So I don't think we know anything. And when I see stories like this, I'm 50-50. It's either the author clearly knew early on how they were going to get to whatever the mystery is, or the other 50% is they're just creating it as they go. And you just never know quite what you're going to get until you start getting towards the end. And you're like, oh man, they had no idea. They just made this shit up. Or you're like, oh wow, that was a really good payoff, you know? So yeah, we don't get mystery anime too often. So I'm going to stick with it. I still like it. It's beautiful. I love the animation. I just kind of want more focus on what it's called, which is Kowloon romance. I want more romance, and now I'm leaning more towards mystery. So yeah. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. I will continue to watch. I'll still be here next week for episode 5. I just don't. I think there's too much branching paths. Let me know what you think. All right, my friends. See you next week. Peace.